I'm Edie Lush, and I'm here in the Hub Culture Pavilion in Davos. Very pleased to be joined by Chris Underhill, the founder and president of Basic Needs. So is 2015 the year in which mental health gets the look that it needs?
I think probably it is. A number of things have come together which really make 2015 a real possibility. I'm a Schwab Foundation social entrepreneur, and that's helped me and the subject to get onto the global stage here at Davos and at the World Economic Forum. That's a start. But I think it's also true to say that the World Bank and the World Health Organization have really understood that we've got to go global and we've got to go to scale in mental health, and therefore we hope there'll be a big event in 2015, which of course I'll be participating in and giving my best support to.
So tell me where you think the support needs to come from. Is it government funding? Is it public-private partnerships? Where do you think that it needs to come from?
So global mental health, which of course is mostly about the deficit in mental health services in poor countries, in developing countries, has a couple of very important issues. One is that the majority of mentally ill people are in developing countries because that's where the majority populations are.
Right.
Mental illness has a statistical relationship to total population. So about 75% roughly of the whole mental health population is in the developing world. So there is no doubt the governments have to take a real interest, and to be fair, some do, but some don't, and I mean developing country governments. But then their aid partners, be they bilateral organizations or be they other kinds of organization, have to definitely also play a part in this, because this is a huge illness. I'm not sure whether you know, but 450 million people suffer from mental illness at any one time. And that then posits about 360 million or thereabouts on the developing world side of things. So this is much larger than many of the illnesses that have been dealt with expeditiously.
Yeah.
So I think, bilateral funding, of course. There's also a place, I think, for companies in this. Healthcare companies, of course, but also companies that have interesting ideas about how you can task shift. In other words, how you can do things in a different way to how they've been done traditionally in the past. And I think there is an opening there. And of course, the pharmaceutical industry also has a part to play.
Is there a country where you think things are being done well, for example? Well,
there are some countries which are certainly doing things better than others, and that's probably the best way of putting it. We have a very nice example in Ghana, where the government, in coordination with the Department for International Development, UK, and using some bilateral aid money and some charity money, which is ours, we have been able to support the government there to put in the mental health authority that they now have in the new act, and we would like very much to support them to be able to take forward the next paces, and that seems to be what the government would like, and also what the British government would like. So that's a virtuous piece of work, which is getting started now. So we have to see how that goes.
Can you actually measure how increased awareness or increased help of mentally ill people can actually aid development?
Yes, you can, and that's a very important question, because actually mental illness, if you take it in brief, if you take about the 5 most significant mental illnesses together, schizophrenia, bipolar, depression, and so on, if you take all that together, that's at least 7 or 8% of population. And so it generally affects younger people than older people, if you put dementia aside, which is a slightly different discussion. And so it really affects the economy of countries. People suddenly become mentally ill when they weren't expecting so, and they have to then withdraw from the economy. So you can definitely see that as people recover, get on the recovery path, they start to make an almost immediate contribution back to the economy of their families and so on. And that's very important, even if the initial contribution is small.
Thank you so much for stopping by the Hub Culture Pavilion.
It's been a great pleasure.
Here in Davos, and I'm Edie Lush.
Thank you.